In South Africa, a dramatic day in the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. The judge found him not guilty of premeditated murder in the shooting death of his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp. But Pistorius isn't off the hook yet, and in fact is expected to face lesser charges. CCTV's Dan Williams reports.
Relief for Oscar Pistorius, obviously cleared of the murder charge, but still faces a very serious charge indeed of culpable homicide. Now that comes with it a potential 15-year sentence, although it will be down to the judge's discretion, and she could decide to, if convicted, award a suspended sentence. Now, Judge Masipa will rule on that tomorrow, but she did give an indication that this was very much in her thinking just before court was adjourned today.
He failed to take any step to avoid the resultant death. I am of the view that the accused acted too hastily and used excessive force. In the circumstances, it is clear that his conduct was negligent.
If you looked at a lot of the opinion polls ahead of today's verdict announcement, many more people than not thought that Oscar Pistorius would be found guilty of murder. All of the various local TV channels and radio shows, a lot more people thought that that was going to be the case. So a lot of people come from very surprised by this. However, as I say, the main person, of course, that matters was Judge Masipa, and she wasted very little time in throwing out a lot of the state's arguments, the likes of the fact that many of the witnesses from the state, they were proved, as they say, that they just mistook what actually had happened on that evening, that the sounds of what one woman said was blood-curdling screams was in fact Oscar Pistorius calling for help, and she very much accepted Oscar Pistorius's timeline. So some disbelief, but many others as well, also believing that this was indeed the only judgment that Judge Masipa could make.
Our thanks to Dan Williams for that report.